Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is the 1st of July and first day of the month, first day of the new quarter, first day of half year. And this educational video is for there's no recommendation, there's no advice, it's for educational purposes only. So take it as it is. It is me just trying to read the market using technical analysis and with my experience and such. So let's get cracking. And US markets crawled higher again yesterday. It was primarily lifted by Apple that has been sideways trading for quite some time. But yesterday it was testing the resistance here at 206.25 and RSI just below 60 threshold. So that keep an eye on that. Can it actually close above both? That would be key to watch here the next few days. The Nasdaq 100, yes, a new high, and I think it's we can close this one and remove it. It is obsolete now. There's no divergence on the RSI now, and the way you can see that is with your horizontal line. So let's check it out. I think there's nothing. At least we have 71.84, and yesterday we had 72.68. So no divergence on the RSI. Indicating likely higher levels. So the summer rally seems to be ongoing, pre-market a little bit unchanged. We have also on the S&P 500 crawling higher. No divergence on the RSI, broken above its falling trend line. So it seems like we are in basically crawling higher there also. Dow Jones is also being lifted close yesterday above 44,000. And seems to also catching up with the other markets. We can also see RSI in a bullish move. A little bit stretched though, so don't be alarmed if we see a little bit of a setback, but we are crawling higher. European markets, on the contrary here, setting back a little bit yesterday, 0.4% on EuroStoxx50, got rejected here at the minor resistance 5,344. And that will be key to close above for EuroStoxx50 pre-market. Seems like we are a little bit unchanged. So here on the ETF, 5,345. That is key resistance. DAX is in a bullish trend. Very short term, higher high, high low, higher high, but also 0.5% lower yesterday. And what is also really key here, RSI got rejected at the 60 threshold. It needs to close above to confirm bullish trend. If it doesn't close above, we will not get a new all-time highs, taking out the previous peaks here from June, and we don't get cancelled the bearish engulf top and reversal pattern. Pre-market basically unchanged. Same picture here. We need the RSI to close back above 60 threshold to really confirm a bullish push, and that picture will materialize if we get a close above yesterday's peak at 24,171. If we get a close above that, well, then we will see a new all-time highs, and we will also see RSI closing above 60 to confirm it. In Asia this morning, I forgot to do that before the European ones, but I hope you can forgive me because Seng has been closed, so really not much to say. It sat back a little bit the day before yesterday, so let's see when it opens again. Apparently there's a bank holiday in Hong Kong, and we sat back a little bit to test the 24,000, so not much to report there. The Nikkei market was open, so we have the future here sitting back a bit we are a little bit of a stress uptrend, and we were signaling maybe a little bit of correction, but I don't think it will be that big because we're still in a bullish trend, still positive sentiment on the RSI, and there's no divergence. It is likely to push higher above 41,000 after a correction. That could take it down to maybe to 39,000 and a bit here, which is the 38.2 correction, of this uptrend here. Euro dollar is stalling a little bit today, just below the RSI peak here at 75.75. So that will be key here today. Will we get a little bit of a setback? But we are in a bullish trend, and there is still potential up to one. Oh, we actually reached 118 this morning, so maybe that's why we can see it here on the weekly. Let's just zoom out because this is actually quite interesting. So we are testing this. Still in a bullish trend, no divergence, likely to push higher towards 119 in the coming weeks, but expect a little bit of a setback here, a little bit of a correction. And what I will do, I will actually add a Fibonacci on the entire move up there. I don't think we will get that bigger correction, but we could get a little bit of a setback, because what we could also do is say, okay, the last leg up there, or the latest leg up there, we could set back to 116.70 before a next push higher. But keep an eye on it. We are in a bullish trend, and I think we will see your dollar pushing higher on the medium term towards 119, possibly higher. Sterling dollar, also still bullish trend. There is divergence on the RSI, but it is crawling higher. I think we'll see it testing 138 here fairly shortly. And what I will do, I will say that if it takes out the little dip there at 136.74, well, then I think we'll see test 136.30. Yes, I know it's very tight, but that's what it is at the moment with these small moves. But there's potential 138 and possibly higher on 139. You can see what it's flirting with this 137.5 area at the moment, and that's why it's struggling. That's the resistance. Euro sterling has bounced strongly off its 38.2 retracement at 85. Could test the 86 here. If it takes out 86, well, then we are looking at 86.5, 86.55. Dollar yen. Dollar yen testing the lower rising trend line. I think it will break it with a push towards 142, 142.5 support. But for now, it's testing, could bounce a little bit, so keep an eye on. Could play out today or tomorrow. Euro yen. In this kind of stretch, you can see RSI declining and market has moved a little bit higher. So I would expect a little bit of a setback. I don't think we'll get it all the way down to 166.50. But keep an eye on it. If it pushes above the 170, well, then there is potential higher. We can see there is positive sentiment here on the weekly. There's no divergence indicating likely higher levels, but it's been one hell of a ride here for the past month or so. So we should be in for a little bit of a correction before moving higher. Aussie yen still struggling to break 94.85 resistance here. And if it does, well, then we're looking at 95.75. It's not much, but then we have the 200 moving average coming down, adding some resistance to that area. We're in a positive sentiment, but it's really struggling around this 786 retracement there. The sterling yen continues a small correction here. Could take it down to 196.40. But we are in a bullish trend here also. If it takes out the peak there at 198.80, well, then we are looking at a 200. Aussie dollar, well, crawling higher. Yesterday closed well above its minor resistance and is pushing towards 66.25, 138.2 projection of this one, and I think we'll reach it. We could even push higher. Towards 66.5, 66, 65. In this region around here, we have 161.8 projection. We have some resistance at 66.80. We could crawl higher towards that level, but it will not be a sprint. I think it will be a little bit of a struggle, given that we still have the 200 moving average dragging on it a little bit or holding back a little bit. But we are in a bullish trend now, and there is potential higher. Dollar Canada. Dollar Canada is continuing lower. Closed yesterday below support at 136.35 and is very close to testing the 786 retracement. I think we will slowly crawl lower in the coming weeks. We have negative sentiment on the RSI, close back below 40 threshold. There's no divergence indicating likely lower levels on dollar Canada. Sterling Canada. Stalling a little bit. after almost reaching 138.2. Now trading around the 187, 186.90 area here, where we were previously that we broke above. I think it will slowly start resuming uptrend, but we need a little bit of correction, and I think we'll see it pushing higher. Positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, likely higher levels. And Swiss franc now seems to be moving. Should we have a test of the 92, 90 support here around 93? We could very well get that. Maybe not today, but it seems to be drifting lower. We are below the cloud. We do have negative sentiment on the RSI, so I think we will eventually get a test of this support area down there. Dollar Swiss also pushing lower, and let's see what's going on. It's actually accelerated the sell-off by breaking below the lower falling trend line there. 138.2 projection at 78.73 could be reached fairly shortly, and if it does that, then I think we'll see a bounce. We have the RSI. There is yes, negative sentiment on the RSI, but as we can see, if we draw a horizontal line here, let's see that one right there. Well, there is divergence on it. You can see the lows here are lower than here, but the RSI is not really support that. So we are in an exhaustion mode, but it can keep going on for a little bit further, I think. Dollar index, same picture really. That has pushed lower, and it's very close to 96.10, which is the 138.2 projection, and the RSI very close to its lows here also. So I think we'll see a bounce if we hit 96 and 96.10. And on gold, keeps bouncing from the 3,245 support, and keeps bouncing and keep bouncing a little bit further, and we can actually measure that. Well, let's see here if we push that or add this Fibonacci to it. I think we'll see it bounce up to 3,373, but it needs to close above 3,400 to resume uptrend. But 3,245 is really key support. Silver also bounced yesterday from 35.45 support. So let's see if it can resume uptrend, but that is the key support towards. We have platinum. That's 13.25 support, a little or 50% of the uptrend there. If it takes out that with more than what it did just yesterday, it was just a few cents, then I think we'll see a sell-off down below 1300, possibly 1261. But it's still in a bullish trend. However, as you can see here, there is a divergence on the RSI, so it is stretched. So maybe we are in a little bit of a correction mode. What is not in a correction mode is copper, that is pushing towards 520. Positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, likely to move higher. And I think it will push higher towards 530, 533, possibly higher. On the energy side, and oil is dancing around, the WTI dancing around the 65, 64.80. Support area here just above the 786 retracement, and I think we will see that continuing for a little bit. RSI is still positive, but we had some divergence up there, so weird behavior, but now it seems like wait and see. Brent Crude, on the other hand, is testing its 786 retracement here at 66.58. And also the upper part of the cloud, we have the 55 moving average adding to the support. So I actually don't think it will push lower. I think we'll see a little bit of a bounce, maybe possibly up to $70, but might be a little bit of a stretch. The European nat gas in a bearish trend now after the close below the support here, and could drift lower towards 32 and 31.30. And the US nat gas, well, after being rejected here at the 50% retracement, and also the 38.2 of this uptrend here, well, then it's drifting lower to likely test the, and what I will do, I will actually move this, test the 200 moving average again, and I think it could dip down to the 786 retracement at 323. Will it close down there? It's debatable, but it is struggling a little bit. Let's see here. Could also be that the 200 moving average and the lower part of the cloud will still hold on. US 10-year Treasury yields yesterday turned around and moved below the cloud, moved below the 786 retracement, and could now set back to 412 lows here back from early May. The downtrend is continuing. You can also the 55 moving average declining. The 100 also declining. There's still the 200 that is pushing higher, but it seems like they're not that afraid of inflation at the moment and other key numbers. At least we are drifting lower on the US 10-year Treasury yields. On the European ones, well, again we have moved above the 260, but it needs to close above. We spiked above yesterday. We opened above this morning 260, but RSI also got rejected 60 threshold, so I think we could drift back. But if it closes above 260 and it also takes out these two spikes here from the past few days, well, then the Euro 10-year yield could crawl towards 265. The UK 10, well, bouncing as we talked about, not much to talk about really, bouncing down for the 444 above the 442 support. And Bitcoin is taking a breather just to trend sideways. Let's see if it can follow through. We need the RSI to close above 60 threshold for a signal that it will push higher towards all-time high above 112. Ethereum, same picture, really struggling here just below the 55 moving average. I still believe it could see it up to 25.87. RSI is still negative. Will it turn around and slide lower? That's debatable. It seems like it is directional less at the moment. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and talk to you again later.